Caudillo? You already know what a Caudillo is. But if you must know, Caudillos start to gain recognition since the inception of the country. Mexico always lacked infrastructure, and it was natural that Caudillos to start popping up everywhere. They were local political bosses, often brought up militias and fought the terrain they held. The era of Santa Anna was one of the most prolific ones in Mexican history. During the early tumultuous years of the Republic, Santa Anna held office 9 times and installed regimes plenty more. However, these caudillos never partook in the art of governance, as their goals mainly focused in breaking into the national treasury. Silly them. It was not until the era of Diaz that the caudillos were tamed. Diaz supported in fighting and built up a federal government enough to withstand 30 years of governance. Diaz gave power to the local leaders and always kept them busy. However, it is only time for the caudillos to once again make a scene in the larger field of Mexican politics. Ironically, it took liberals, social moderates, since the inception of the country that led to the rise of Villa and Zapata. Mexico always lacked infrastructure, and it was natural that caudillos to start popping up everywhere. They were local political bosses.
The fun did not last long, however. As previous caudillos in the past, neither Villa nor Zapata could hold power in national office for a long time. It was the PRI, however, that did. Revolutionaries they claimed to be, but their modernization effort was not much different from that of Diaz. Once again, Mexico sacrificed social liberty in order to attain social stability and some progress in modernization.
Fue en una zona residencial de Tijuana que paralizó a toda la ciudad.
The caudillos, too, once more worked under the wraps of the government, as the late journalist Roberto Mora once exclaimed. There have always been controls under the table within the caudillos and the government. Sadly, Mora is now dead.
A sus enemigos.
Because of his new instabilities that fills Mexico, but I digress. Protests, especially student protests, are examples of the repressive revolutionary government that ruled Mexico. Protests such as those in Tlatelolco best describe the authoritarianism. The proletariat never stood a chance.
Last, after the party took control in the year 2000, over 45,000 murders have been attributed to the caudillos. However, we must not place all fault to the panistas. Starting in the late 1960s, pressure from the US and the definitions of drug trafficking once more brought conflict within the central government and the caudillos. The caudillos found that in order to stay powerful, they would have to take advantage of the U.S. Colombian situation. And after the death of Caudillo Arellano Felix, new major factions led by their proper caudillos of the Gulf Cartel, La Familia Michoacana, Knights of Templar, the Sinaloa Cartel, and Los Zetas began to rule in their localities. It is still evident that in the problems of rural isolation that plagued early Mexico and its modernization, even during the pushes of President Arellano in the mid-20th century, still affects Mexico. Today, Mexico's attempt for a federal state is undermined by corruption at the local level and de facto states that whose local police is not held under monopoly control of the Mexican government.
Que son las dos ramas que integran el poder legislativo, comprometidos con el pueblo, no con el presidente que controle fiscalmente a las dependencias del poder ejecutivo, que es.
In the Latino Barometer poll taken in 2010, only 42% of Mexicans prefer democracy over any other system of government.
No importa lo que hagas, no importa lo que realices, lo más importante es dar el extra, el fuá.
Moreover, the same poll revealed that support for democracy in Mexico had declined by 9% since 1996, the largest drop in the region. Mexicans were also among the least opposed to a military-run government.
Estén pidiendo cuentas del dinero de todos los mexicanos y que realmente tengan el poder de discutir, de rechazar los caprichos del presidencialismo y también de tener una participación intensa para la legislación que realmente saque a este país adelante.